They had exactly enough. Not comfortably enough. Not enough with room. Exactly enough. The kind of enough that required both of them to have saved every spare pound for 3 years, since the fire that had taken their mother's house and everything in it, and had left them with insurance money that was precise and a grief that was not. They needed a home. Not a house, a home. The difference mattered to them in the specific way of people who had lost one and understood what the losing cost. The advertisement had found them on a Tuesday, or they had found it. Marlowe Estate, former family residence, requires renovation, priced to sell. The photographs showed a house. A real house, not beautiful, not restored, but with the specific bones of something that had been extraordinary once and could be again. The price was exactly what they had. They should have seen that as a sign. They saw it as luck. They bought it on a Thursday. They arrived on a Saturday and understood, standing at the gate of what they had bought, that the photographs had been taken 20 years ago. The roof had collapsed on the east wing. The windows were gone. The garden, if it could still be called that, was 15 years of nature reclaiming what had been abandoned. The elder sister looked at the younger sister looked at the house, and she said, with the specific stubborn clarity of someone who had lost everything once and was not going to lose it again, "Good bones." What? It has good bones. Papa always said, good bones is everything. The rest is just work. The elder sister looked at the house. She looked at her sister. Asterisk have no money left, asterisk she said. Asterisk have each other, asterisk the younger said. Asterisk and we have tools. And we have 3 years of not giving up practice. Asterisk the elder sister looked at the house for a long time. Then she picked up her bag and walked through the gate. What happened next? Neither of them expected, and neither did the man who had sold it to them. Their names were Eleanor and Sophia Reyes. Eleanor was 34. Sophia was 31. They had grown up in their mother's house, a specific house on a specific street. The house of someone who had made something warm and particular from modest resources and considerable love. Their mother had been dead for 2 years. The house had been destroyed by a fire 8 months after that, an electrical fault. The investigator said, the specific random cruelty of something that had nothing to do with anyone's choices, and had happened anyway. They had the insurance money. They had each other. They had, between them, 3 years of saving toward the specific goal of a home of their own, 3 years of second jobs, and cancelled holidays, and the particular discipline of people who understood what they were saving for. And they had their father's voice, both of them, in different ways and for different things, but consistently present the voice of a man who had spent his life building and restoring, and who had taught his daughters on Saturday mornings and Sunday afternoons, and the particular in-between hours of a childhood spent paying attention. That things worth having required work, and that work was not the enemy of worth, but the proof of it. Good bones is everything. The rest is just work. He had said it so often that it had become the specific family shorthand for, this is difficult, but it is possible, and we are the people who do possible things. He had died when Eleanor was 22 and Sophia was 19. He had left them his tools. The tools were in the boot of Sophia's car on the Saturday they drove to Marlowe Estate. His name was James Whitfield. He was 42 years old and had been, for 15 of those years, building Whitfield property, building it with the specific focused intensity of someone who understood that property was not about buildings but about value, and that value was created by the specific combination of acquisition, timing, and the particular willingness to sell things at the moment that maximized return rather than the moment that was most fair. He was very good at his work. He had acquired Marlowe Estate 3 years ago. The estate had been in a family for generations and had come to him through the specific sequence of debt and inheritance dispute, and the particular exhaustion of people who had been managing something large for too long and had run out of the capacity to continue managing it. He had paid a fair price. He had had it photographed. The photographs had been taken in the one part of the estate that was still presentable: the south facade, the entrance hall, the library, which had survived relatively intact. The photographer had been good at his job. The photographs showed a house that required work. They did not show the east wing roof. They did not show the missing windows. They did not show what 3 years of nobody living there had done to the rest. The advertisement had been accurate in its way, requires renovation, priced to sell, but accurate in the way of something that was true without being complete. He had received their offer on a Wednesday. 2 sisters, their entire savings. He had accepted on the Thursday. He had told himself it was a fair transaction. He had not examined this too closely. They slept in the car on the first night, not because they had nowhere else to go, because they had decided on the drive up that going back was not available as an option, and that the first night was the first night, and the first night was in the car, and that was what it was. Eleanor made lists. Sophia looked at the house. They had torches. They had thought to bring torches, and they had walked through the accessible parts of the building on the Saturday evening, and had done the specific assessment of people who had been taught to see what was there rather than what they wished was there. East wing roof, collapsed, structural damage to upper floor, lower floor salvageable. West wing, intact, damp into rooms, manageable. The main hall, extraordinary. The proportions, the staircase, the plasterwork on the ceiling that had survived because the hall was the tallest space and the damp had not reached it. Papa would have loved this, Sophia said. Papa would have known exactly what to do with this, Eleanor said. He taught us, Sophia said. He taught you, Eleanor said. I was better at the paperwork. You were also on that scaffold every Saturday, Sophia said. I was eating my lunch, Eleanor said. You were handing him things, Sophia said. You know more than you think. They slept in the car. In the morning they went to work. Sophia directed the structural work. She had her father's eye, the specific ability to look at a building and understand what it required in sequence, which things had to happen before other things could happen, which apparent problems were actually symptoms of other problems that were the real things to address. Eleanor managed everything else. The permits, which required navigating a bureaucracy that was not designed for 2 sisters, with limited funds and considerable determination, but which Eleanor navigated with the specific patience of someone who understood that bureaucracy was not an obstacle, but a process, and processes had steps, and steps could be learned. The materials, sourced with the creative economy of people who had no money to waste, which produced the specific ingenuity of salvage yards and reclaimed materials, and the particular network of people who knew where things could be found if you knew to ask. The community, which had watched them arrive and had watched the car sleeping, and had watched the work beginning and had, in the way of communities that recognize something worth recognizing, begun to help. Mrs. Kowalski from the village had sent her son, who was a plumber, on the 2nd week. The Hendersons from the farm had arrived with their tractor to clear the garden. The retired builder from the end of the lane, Mr. Santos, 71, the specific sprightliness of someone who had spent his life working and had retired only technically, had come on a Monday morning with his tools. "I knew this house," Mr. Santos said. "40 years ago, I worked on it when I was your age." "What was it like?" Sophia said. "Extraordinary," he said. "It can be again." He came every Monday. He came every Wednesday. He came on the Saturdays he didn't tell his wife about. He drove past on a Thursday in April, not because he had planned to. He had a meeting in the county, and the road went past the estate, and he had driven past it without thinking and had then, in the specific way of certain things that require a second look, turned around. He stopped the car at the gate. He looked. The east wing. He could see from the road that something had happened to the east wing. Work. The specific evidence of significant work. The scaffolding still up on the north side. The new timber visible in the roofline. The garden. He could see the drive from the gate, and the drive was clear, and the hedges along the drive had been cut back, and at the end of the drive the house was. He opened the car door. He walked to the gate. He looked at the house. The south facade, which he had photographed, which had been the presentable face in the advertisement photographs, was exactly as it had been, but restored. The pointing repaired. The windows of the south facade had been restored, the original sash windows, and the glass caught the April afternoon light in the specific way of glass that has been properly fitted. The front door was open. Someone was working in the entrance hall. He could see, from the gate, that the entrance hall was being restored, that the plasterwork on the ceiling was being addressed, that the floor had been stripped and was being refinished. He stood at the gate of the house he had sold for the maximum value he could extract, and looked at what two sisters had done with it. He examined this honestly, with the fairness he did not always apply to business, but was applying now, because the situation required it. He was ashamed, and something else, something that arrived alongside the shame, and was not the shame, but was distinct from it. He understood, looking at something extraordinary. She saw him at the gate. She had been working on the entrance hall plasterwork. The specific patience of someone learning a skill under Mr. Santos's instruction and getting better at it with each day, and had gone to the door for light and had seen the man at the gate. She knew who he was. She had the solicitor's correspondence. She had the photographs, the ones that had been in the advertisement, that had shown the house rather than the ruin they had found. She had, in the specific way of someone who had processed an injustice and decided what to do with it, spent 3 months understanding exactly who James Whitfield was and what he had done. She walked to the gate. He looked at her. "You're one of the sisters," he said. "Yes," she said. "Sophia," he said. He had the names from the solicitor. "Yes," she said. He looked at the house. "I owe you an apology," he said. She looked at him. "Yes," she said. "You do." The photographs were not representative. She said, single quotes, "Yes, we know." "I should have." "You should have," she said, single quotes, "Yes." He looked at the house. "What you've done," he said, "in 4 months." "We're not finished," she said. "No," he said. "I can see that." He paused. "It's going to be extraordinary." "It already is," she said. He looked at her, at the woman with plaster on her hands and her father's voice in her head, and 3 months of work behind her, and the specific quality of someone who was exactly where they were supposed to be. He said, "Can I see it?" She looked at him for a long moment. "No," she said. "Sophia, not today," she said. When it's finished, she went back to work. He stood at the gate for a long time. Then he drove away. He came back the following Thursday. Eleanor had opinions about James Whitfield. She expressed them to Sophia on the Thursday evening after his first visit with the specific directness of someone who had processed an injustice and was not going to pretend otherwise. "He sold us a ruin," Eleanor said. "Yes," Sophia said. "He knew it was a ruin," Eleanor said. "Yes," Sophia said. "And now he comes to the gate," Eleanor said, "to look at what we've done with his ruin." "Yes," Sophia said. "And you talked to him," Eleanor said. "I told him no," Sophia said. "Good," Eleanor said. "And I told him when it's finished," Sophia said. Eleanor looked at her sister. "Sophia," she said. "He looked at the house," Sophia said. "The way Papa used to look at things, like he understood what he was seeing. He sold us a ruin," Eleanor said. "Yes," Sophia said. "He did." She paused. "People do wrong things. Some of them understand afterward. Some of them," Eleanor said. "I told him no," Sophia said. "For now." Eleanor looked at her sister. She had known Sophia for 31 years. She knew the expression on her face. "Sophia," she said. "Yes," Sophia said. "Don't," Eleanor said. "I'm not doing anything," Sophia said. "I'm finishing the plasterwork." She went back to the plasterwork. Eleanor watched her. She thought, "This is going to be complicated." He came back 6 times before the house was finished. Not always when Sophia was working. Sometimes he came when Eleanor was there, and Eleanor received him with the specific coolness of someone who had processed an injustice and had not yet decided what to do with the processing. He did not push. He came. He looked. He sometimes brought things, coffee the first time, which Eleanor accepted without warmth, materials the second time, which Sophia accepted without comment, Mr. Santos's retirement present the third time, which neither of them had expected, and which produced the specific silence of people receiving something they had not anticipated. "How did you know about Murdoch Santos?" Sophia said. "He told me," James said. "I called him. I know him. We worked together 20 years ago. He said he'd been coming here. He comes every Monday and Wednesday," Sophia said. "And the Saturdays he doesn't tell his wife about," James said. Sophia looked at him. "He told you that too," she said. "He said the house deserved it," James said. "He said he had unfinished business with it." "He did," Sophia said. "We all do." The offer came in July. He sat across from both of them. They had, by this point, allowed him inside, which Eleanor had agreed to with the specific reluctance of someone who had decided that agreement was the correct position while maintaining the right to be wrong. "About this, I want to make an offer," he said. Eleanor looked at him. "For the house," Sophia said. "Not a question." "Yes," he said. "No," they said. Together. The specific together of people who had been finishing each other's thoughts for 31 years. "It's worth," he started. "We know what it's worth," Eleanor said. "We built it." "I know," he said. "That's why I want it." "You had it," Sophia said. "You sold it." "Yes," he said. "That was a mistake." "Several mistakes," Eleanor said. "Yes," he said. "Several." He looked at the house, at the entrance hall, that had been restored, at the ceiling with the plasterwork that Sophia had spent 3 months learning to repair, at the floor that had been refinished to something close to its original quality. "This isn't just a house," he said. "You know that." "Yes," Sophia said. "We know." "What is it?" Eleanor said, with a specific tone of someone who knew the answer and wanted to hear him say it. He looked at her. "It's a home," he said. "You made it a home." Eleanor looked at her sister. Sophia looked at James. "The answer is still no," Sophia said. "I know," he said. "I'm not leaving." He stopped making offers. This was. Sophia thought about it, turning it over with the honesty she tried to apply to important things. This was the thing that changed what she thought about him. Not the apology, though the apology had been real. Not the materials or Mr. Santos's present. The stopping. He stopped making offers and he started showing up. Not to look at the house. To help. Not well. He had not spent his life doing this kind of work, and his hands showed it. But consistently, he came on Saturdays. He did what he was told. He learned, in the specific way of someone who had decided that learning was the correct posture, from Mr. Santos and from Sophia, and occasionally, grudgingly, from Eleanor. Eleanor's grudgingness was diminishing. Sophia noticed this, but did not say anything about it. "You're better at the pointing," Sophia told him. "In August, Mr. Santos showed me," he said. "He showed you," she said. "But you practiced." "Every evening," he said. "On the garden wall." She looked at him. "You practiced on the garden wall," she said. "It needed repointing anyway," he said. She looked at the garden wall. He was right. "James," she said. Single quotes, "Yes." "Why are you here?" she said. He looked at the house. "Because," he said, "I sold this house for maximum value, and two people bought it with everything they had and made it extraordinary." He paused. "And I want to understand how to be the kind of person who makes things extraordinary rather than the kind who extracts value from them." She looked at him. "That's honest," she said. "I'm trying to be," he said. "My father used to say," she said, "that the best builders were the ones who understood what they were building for." "What were you building for?" he said. She looked at the house. "Home," she said. He was quiet for a moment. "Yes," he said. "I can see that." They had exactly enough. The kind of enough that required 3 years of saving every spare pound. They bought a ruin. They arrived on a Saturday and understood what they had bought. The younger sister looked at the house. "Good bones," she said. "Good bones is everything. The rest is just work." Here is what we learned. The people who trick you are not always the final word on what you receive. He sold them a ruin thinking it was the maximum value he could extract. They turned it into something worth more than the maximum value he had extracted. Not because they had resources, because they had something he didn't. Their father's voice, their mother's warmth, 3 years of practice at not giving up, and each other. He came back 6 times before he stopped making offers. He came back because he understood, standing at the gate of what they had built, that the most valuable thing he had ever encountered was not the house. It was what they knew about building. Good bones is everything. The rest is just work. Find your good bones, then work. That is everything.